Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Meenal, and today we have a session on investment process in startup companies through Bizdateup. So, thank you for joining on Sunday afternoon, and we will wait for some time till others also join, and then we will proceed to the session. So, I think people are still joining, and let's start. Meanwhile, others will also join. So, thanks everyone for joining on Sunday afternoon for the session and webinar on investment process in startup companies through Bizdateup. So, to deliver this session, we have a Muskan with us, who is a company secretary and is working for Bizdateup. So, before proceeding to the session, I'll just briefly introduce Muskan. She is working as company secretary with Bizdateup and has previously worked in other reputed firms and have handled different kind of legal and compliance aspects of the work. So, yeah, without taking much of time, I hand over the session to Muskan to take it forward. So, yeah, over to you, Muskan.
Thank you, Meena. Thank you for the introduction. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'll also give a quick introduction of myself. I'm a company secretary and portfolio manager of Bizdateup Technologies. And giving a bit of more about me, I have previously worked with a venture capital firm which is known as Matrix Partners. I have worked there for 2 years. So by working there, I have a good experience dealing with various kinds of investors and startups. So before that, also I have dealt with many startups who are recently funded with Shark Tank and very big investors. So yeah, I have knowledge of startup companies and dealing with various kind of investors of various states as well. So let's start today's session, which is on investment process in startup companies through BizData. So before starting the session, I'll just give you a quick brief about the presentation. So as you are aware that BizData is a platform which allow you to make investment in various startups. So the advantages of BizData is it allows you to make investment in small amount of ticket size, because making direct investment in startups, it required a huge amount of money, which generally small investor or initial investors do not have the ticket size to make investment. So it is a great and very good platform for everyone, every investors who are willing to invest and earn profit. So how the process goes on of the investment is in infusing of your fund into BizData till getting the share certificates to you. So between this process, there are many small processes comes. To clarify the timeline of these processes, I'm going to present a small slide in front of you. So I'm just starting with the first slide, and the first step is So today what we're gonna discuss is execution of agreements, calling of meetings, filing of forms, and at the end, getting your share certificates. So I'm starting with the first step, that is execution of agreements. See, execution of agreement. What are these agreement basically? See, whenever any investment is made into any startup company, let's take an example. Startup name Revamp. Whenever Revamp want to collect funds, suppose they want to take 100 crore of investment from investors, and out of which Bizdateup has given a commitment of 1 crore, that yes, we will be collecting 1 crore of investment for you, so that we can be on the cap table of the company. So obviously Bizdateup and other investors want to ensure and protect their rights before making the investment. See, so for that, company startup company executes into the agreement, that is shareholders agreement. And what is this shareholder agreement is? Shareholder agreement is a very important and legal document from the point of the company as well as the investors, because this agreement contains the rights and obligation of the investors as well as the company. Of course, if the investor is making investment in any of the company, they want ki my money should be secured, and I should have the rights on the company, that I should know the progress of the company, where the funds are being used, either whether the funds are not misused, they are using in the proper direction. I should know the growth of the company. Then only any of the investor will make funds, right? So these are the agreement which company execute. And while executing this agreement, there are n number of investors. So the major process comes here is giving each investors this agreement, and getting the signature pages from the investor is a major task for the startup companies. And this process takes a huge time, because without collecting all the signature pages from the each investor, company cannot move forward, because investor might get these agreement reviewed from their legal team as well. If they have any question, the company needs to discuss. So this is a bit time consuming process, but a very important process as well. So I'm moving to the next slide, which is calling of meetings. Whenever a company wants to raise fund, first of all it needs to take the approval of its board members, that is the director of the company. Once the investment is approved by the board of director, then comes the approval of the shareholder. Who are the shareholders of the company? If company has already raised previous funds, so those members are the shareholders of the company. So before taking any important decision in the company, they need to call a shareholders meeting. Then the agenda item needs to be approved in that meeting with majority of the consent. So, as I said, once the agreement is signed, now the board member will present that these are the list of people from which we are planning to raise a certain amount of investment. And for this, they will be calling an extraordinary general meeting, that is shareholders meeting. So, in that shareholders meeting, again, they will be presenting the same list with the number of shares, with the amount of funds they are planning to raise, and the offer letter which they will give after the meeting is done. So next steps is comes is, once the meeting is done, resolutions are passed. Those resolution needs to be filed with the registrar of company, that is the regulatory authority. So in that MGT 14, certain resolutions has to be filed, which take time of along somewhere around 4 to 5 weeks to get approved. So again, this is the time consuming process from company's point of view, startup company's point of view. Once they file, the ministry takes time to approve this form, and until and unless this form is not approved, company cannot circulate the offer letter to its investors. So this is a very, again, a major and important process from Companies Act. Next is, once the form MGT 14 is filed and approved from ROC, now the company will start rolling out the offer letter. Now what offer letter? There is a specific format in PAS 4, which has been defined by Companies Act. In that there are all the major and important items are mentioned. So items like details of the company, financial detail of the company, the valuation which company has obtained, from which valuer they have obtained, and what they are planning to raise, and the amount of investment they are planning to raise. So all these details are covered in the offer letter. So this offer letter comes in two part. Part A, which contains the entire detail of the company. The other is part B. Part B is for the investors. They have to mention their details, they have to give their bank account details, and they have to sign that offer letter stating that yes, I have accepted the offer which has given to me by the company. I'm sorry. So after rolling out the offer letter, the next steps comes is, once the offer letter is received from all the investors, then company will accepting the funds from the investors. So after giving the offer letter, then only company can accepting funds from the investors. And company can accept the funds through various means, like they can accept from demand drafts, check, electronic transfer, but they cannot accept in cash. This is also given in the act, companies act. So next step is, once the fund is received, offer is closed, now company can allot shares. Now again, for allotting the shares to the investors, company needs to take approval of the board members. For that, the company will be calling a board meeting, and then they will passing a small resolution for allotment of shares. Once that allotment is done, board resolution is passed. Now the company has to intimate again to the regulatory authority, yes, we have done the allotment of share, and that intimation goes to the MCA in form PAS 3. PAS 3 needs to be filed within the period of 30 days of the board meeting. This is the timeline given as per the Companies Act 2013. Now, very important process comes. Once the entire filing with ROC is done, approval has been received. Now, company is free to issue the share certificates to the investors. But also, issuing the share certificate, company needs to pay the stamp duties. To this, see, stamp duty also differ from state to state. If you check in Maharashtra, the stamp duty is different because it works in two acts, state wise and central wise also. If you go in Delhi, there is a different process of paying the stamp duty. If you go to the Karnataka, it is different. So first of all, the stamp duty needs to be paid. Once it is done, the company can issue the share certificate to its investors to whom allotment has been done. I'm sorry. And so last comes is, what if the startup company does not comply to these regulations or the timeline given as per the act? So if the company make any negligence in complying the acts, rules and regulation, it can attract a huge and hefty penalty as per the act. Say for example, a startup company is raising amount of 5 crore. So as per act, it is given whatever amount of funds you are raising, or 2 crore, whichever is more. So in our case, it will be 5 crores of penalty on the company. So it is always advisable to all the startup companies, if you are raising fund, you have to be extra cautious by making all the timely, duly compliances, and appointing a proper person who can deal with legal and compliance aspect. That is why when we comes from the Bizdateup, and we represent to all Bizdateup investors in making sure that all the startup companies from which we are investing, that they are complying all the rules regulation of the act, and they are going as per the timeline. So here I close my slide, and now I'll request you to raise question if you have any.
I request all the investors to clear the doubt, like whatever queries or doubts you have. Any doubt or any question you have regarding legal and compliance aspects or issuance of SAR certificate, you can ask anything to Muskan and she'll be happy to address the questions.
Hi Muskan, this side Navin. So, can you please say us any key points, like if any individual is coming into the platform for investing for the first time, what are the key things we need to remember? We need to make a note of it because we completely don't understand end to end. But what are the important aspects in this which you need to remember while investing in these companies? What kind of a set of rules and regulation you need to follow? If you can,
Yes,
then
yes.
that
Hi,
would
Naveen.
be
Hi.
helpful for many people.
Yes, sure, sure. So before coming on the Bizdateup platform, what you have to do, you have to register on the portal by uploading your KYC documents. This is the first thing which you have to do. Okay. So once your all the important documents are uploaded, then there is a list of startup, emerging startup, of which the most detailed due diligence was done from startup point of view. That is, Bizdateup has done the detailed due diligence of all those startup, and in that startup you can make the investment as per your choice, like in what field you wanted to invest, like in tech or medical or education. So there is a vast field, and from in order to protect your interest, what you have to do is, see, once you have infused fund into Bizdateup, then there is a timeline of 3 to 3.5 months which you have to give in order to receive a valid document of your investment. Because see, as I told you, it's a private placement. It's a huge process from the companies. I mean, from this startup point of view, I can say. So they take a longer time, not because they are not working, but see, in that company also there are n number of investors. So coordinate with each and every investors and to get all the documents from them, it takes a bit longer time. So that is why you have to just give us a time period of 3 to 3.5 months. So after that, Bizdata will be providing you all the legal document which justifies your investment in Bizdata.
Hello, this is Anand Arora. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, yeah, please, sure.
Okay, so just wanted to confirm, like, what are the tax implications of the investments? So, for example, if we invest, say, for example, a sum of say 3 lakh rupees or 4 lakh rupees in a startup. Okay,
Okay.
so is there any kind of tax exemption that we can claim for that investment?
Sir, actually for tax, there will be a different session, like what will be the tax rate, and there will be a separate webinar for tax implication, because I think a more professional, like a chartered accountant, will be a good position to answer from the tax point of view.
Yeah, but is it there, yes or no? Like, just you know.
Yes, yes, there will be tax implications on the earnings and investments.
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about earnings. So, for example, if you invest in a startup in this year, it's a
Huh.
startup, so it's going to take time to make some profits, give dividend, or forget about that, maybe 3 years, 4 years down the line, you exit from the investment. So I'm not talking about the earning that is made on the exit at that point in time.
Mm-hmm,
That's the profit that goes in separate. I'm talking about
correct.
the cost part. So for example, if this year, if we are investing some amount in a startup, it's like a investment. It's like, say for example, how you buy real estate. You take a home loan, you get tax breaks on the home loan, correct? On
Correct.
your So similarly, is there a tax break on the amount that is getting invested in startups? That's the question.
I think I need to check on this. I'll just check and get back to you on your question, sir.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Muskan, there
Anything?
are questions in a chat
Yeah, yeah, I
box.
can
You
see
can
that.
take
I
it
can
one
see
by
that.
one and we can close, yeah?
Yes,
Questions.
yes. So there is one question which I can see that you have received one Excel sheet. In that there is a DIN column. So DIN, I'll tell you what is DIN. DIN is Director Identification Number, which comes whenever you are appointed as a director in any of the company or any of the LLP. If you are acting as a director, then there is a very unique number which has been allotted to you by MCM. So if you have DIN, then you have to mention in that sheet. Otherwise, you can mention not applicable. And another question I can see is when you can get the share certificate of Twin and Zevo. See, if I'll come on this Twin and Zevo investment, it is just we have initiated the process and we are in continuous touch with the company. They are still in process of receiving all the signature pages of this important agreement that I have explained in my presentation. That is shareholders agreement. So once they collect all the signature pages, every documentation and forms are in pipeline. They can initiate the filing process like in a week or two. For Twin, I can say. For Zevo, I'll give you a proper timeline once I get an update on all the signature pages of the agreement. But still, I would say there will be a timeline of 3 to 3.5 months, which we need to give you all the legit documents, which will show that yes, you have made investment in this startup through Bizdateup, and that will be giving you a title of those investment.
So Muskan, I have one questions. Like when there is a pitch has happened for the twin investment in the May end of the month. So there was a deadline which they have mentioned by the directors or the people who are asking for the money. So that will be impacted because it's been almost 2.5 months. We didn't receive anything share certificate from Twin. So the people have invested in that one. From which date that really that timeline and that exit option will be applicable, because it's almost 2.5 months. This will be impacted from the share certificate issuance date, or from where the investment is made on June or the closing date. Who are already invested from there, it's going to be get calculated.
It will be calculated from the date of allotment when the shares are being allotted to you. From that
Okay.
date, it will be calculated. And yes, I understand the time was taken, but we are also in
It's a
the
huge long time.
I totally
Hello,
understand.
Muskan, just a second. So, hi, Navin sir, this is Abhinav here. So, Navin sir, it's a real fact that we are issuing a share after 3 months of your investment, right? So basically, you are you are asking us that when your lock-in period will start for the same, right?
Yes.
Right. So actually, we had a negotiation with the startup founders, right? That see, investors are investing on on this date, and we are issuing share certificate after 3 months of timeline, right? So we have decided to start a lock-in period, okay, from the day of end of that month in which month you have invested. Suppose if you have invested in Twin on 5th of May, right? Then 30th of May will be the initiation of your lock-in period, sir.
Can you repeat once again? Sorry for that.
See, suppose you have invested in Twin on 5th of May, Navin sir, right? And we will start your lock-in period from 30th of May. The month in which you have invested, the end date of that month will be the initiation of your lock-in period, sir. Are you getting me now?
Yeah. So at that time of investment, these were not means that information was not guided for us. So that's why I was
So
asking.
actually we didn't made it official, although we were not having any CS. Now we have got to know a lot of things, because he said we don't think, or we don't want to issue you a share certificate on a mutual understanding basis, right? We want every document to be getting passed on through MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, sir. Right. So it is why this process takes a huge time of near about 2.5 to 3 months, sir. Navin sir.
So suppose like means it's only happens with the twin or if any going forward, if any companies want to raise capital and if any retail investors
Yeah,
will invest again, this will be repeated or how?
I will tell you, sir. See, whenever you invest in a retail amount, right, then we need to create a LLP, right? And at this term, whenever we are creating the LLP, this is the same process that we do follow, and which is a regularized to follow us. And we need to follow these things, right? So wherever you are investing through LLP, right? So this is the process, right? Now, coming on a second part, if that company is issuing you a cap table, okay, a cap table investment opportunity on 1 lakh, there will be no such processes. It will be a simple share certificate that will be passed to you after board resolution meeting of that startup company. Navin sir.
What is this cap table investment? I am not aware.
So cap table basically means that you have some certain rights in the company to which makes you applicable to involve in decision making meetings. Are you getting my point? See, you will
Yeah.
be involved on the cap table. Your name will be there on the cap table. Right now, when you see the cap table of that company, right, in that cap table, you will be able to see Bizdateup Immersive LLP. You won't find your name in that cap table, sir. So you will be part of that LLP, sir. When you invest through LLP, which is in retail investment, right? Suppose if any company comes and tells us that Abhinav, we will issue the cap table on 5 lakh of investment, right? So you will find your name directly on the cap table. This is a difference between retail ticket investment and the equity investments.
Okay.
Is it clear, Navin sir? So
Yeah.
this is very clear that your lock-in period will start from end date of that month in the month which you are investing in any startups.
So I have invested on June 2nd. So my locking period will be from June 31st,
Start from
30th.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 30th of June, sir.
Means
Anything else,
is there any
Navin sir?
update on twin by when we can expect an share certificate issuance so that it
See,
can
sir,
be
for
helped with the
twin,
larger people as well?
yeah. Sir, see, for twin, we will be closing the issuance of share certificate in next 20 to 25 days, right? And as per the Zivo is concerned, let us consider near about 2 to 2.5 months for share certificate issuance for Zivo. Twin, we will be issuing you next 20 to 25 days, sir. Navin sir.
Approximately second week of September.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Abhin.
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
Muskan, you can carry on.
Yes, I can see another question. When you are asking for a bank statement, please suggest what exactly needed. Okay, so I'll tell you. Bank statement, or there is one more document, that is your electricity bill. If it is on your name, we need this document because we will be adding you all investors in the as a partner of the Bizdateup LLP. If you are not having a DIN, that is a direct identification number, so we need all these details to submit to the MCM. So in that bank statement, we need the latest bank statement of current month. So few transaction of the current month needs to be reflected, and your address should be on the first page. That's it. So bank statement or light bill, I need any of the one document. If you are having the light bill on your name, then you can provide us that document only, or the bank statement, whichever is available with you.
So there is Mr. Ashok Varsane who's raising his hands. Sir, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. You have been raising your hand for quite some time now.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are
Hello.
audible. Yes sir, you are audible, we can hear you.
Uh, I've got a couple of questions. Number one,
Yeah.
the process you explained
Hmm.
is a universal process for investment into start. Is
So
that
yes.
true? Because I understand there are different the structures of LLP. Like it can be a partnership startup, or it could be a LLP startup. So the process you explained, that will be a universal process of investment in a startup, or they will be different.
So, sir, let me just tell you, this is the process which Bizdateup follows. So, Bizdateup always make an investment. Mostly, they make an investment through an LLP only. If you are having a big ticket size, then you can make direct investment in those startup. So that again, you can be on the cap table of the company. But this is the universal process which we are following. That is making an investment through LLPs.
So, number two, the Bizdateup itself is a startup.
Sorry. Yes. Yes. Correct.
Bizdateup is also a startup,
Yes. It is a startup.
and no, it itself is a startup. It is collecting fund, and its the primary objective is to invest into the LLPs. So, startup.
Yes. Correct. You are right.
So the money we will be transferred to the Bizdateup, and Bizdateup will further invest the money into the startup.
Absolutely correct.
Okay. In that case, so what would be the status of the investor who is investing into the Bizdateup?
Okay, so for that only I was explaining. See, once you have transfer funds to the Bizdateup, and then Bizdateup has transferred fund to the startup company. The startup company will be issuing the share certificate on Bizdatup's name, and after that we will be entering, adding you as the PAN partner of the Bizdateup LLP, and also we will be issuing that agreement with you. Also the share certificate which we have received from the investor, that also we will be sharing it with you. The financials also we will be sharing with you of this data. So these are the legal document which you, and also an acknowledgement letter which will be a very important document mentioning all the details that you have made investment through Bizdateup LLP, and what shares has been allotted to you, and what is the amount of your contribution in that Bizdateup LLP.
And in that case, when I want an exit, I
Okay.
can't take my standalone decision.
So, okay, so let me also tell you one thing. If you want to take, see, there is a lock-in period. After that, the entire LLP can take exit. Or if an individual investor want to take an exit, so there is an option. What you can do, you can transfer your shares to any individual, and that person on your place can come on the come and join the Bizdateup LLP.
So I'll have
That
to
is the
search
option.
that individual. I will have to search that individual who is interested to take my contribution, isn't it?
Correct, correct,
Quite
correct.
complicated process.
Yes, but this is the
Okay.
only.
Sorry, I would just like to interrupt here, Mr. Varshane. See, at BizData, since we are following the LLP model, okay. Uh, uh, there are two ways for it, sir. Either you can, if there is someone, who's ready to join the LLP instead of you, can go ahead and get them introduced to the LLP through BizData. Okay. If not, then whenever you want to take an exit, you can come to BizData and ask about, discuss about the exit, and then BizData can help you in that as well. Okay. So
All
it's not like
promises.
that you have to go in the market and you have to search someone, and if you can't find someone, then you have to, be stuck into that LLP. Okay. It's not like that. Okay. It's
What has been the track? What has been the track record of BizData?
sir,
How old
we
is this? How old is BizData, and how much investment you have done, and how many exits you have provided, and all that?
So for all of those details, we till now we have raised almost around 20 CR of funds. Okay,
How much?
for
How much? How
20
much?
CR, 20 CR, almost 20 CR.
How many, or how many startups you have invested?
There are approximately 15 startups. For the complete details of investments and sir, our operations, I would suggest that you might have a dedicated investor relations manager. We always give a dedicated investor relations manager to each of our investors. Okay, so if you connect with them, okay, or if Meenal or Abhinav, you can connect with Mr. Varshine to give him the complete details. That would be much better, so that we can clear
No,
those
I
doubts.
would like to raise my level of confidence with Bizdateup before I make any investment into the Bizdateup.
Ashok sir.
That's all.
Ashok sir, this is Abhinav this side. So actually, I will answer you in a very short that will make you a lot of things to understand. So while taking the exit, you have several options in your hand, right? Whenever you are investing through LLP or whether you are investing through equity fund, right? So the very first option is that you can ask any of LLP partners to take your shares. This is the first option. Second option is that whenever the nearest round is coming, right, at a time you find that after 2 months, that founder is going to raise a new round, right? You can ask founders to give you the exit because once you have completed your lock-in period, right, then after that the founders are liable to give you the exit. Third is that you can search it on your own, right? Fourth is that Bizdateup will look forward for occupying your shares and transferring your shares to another investors and giving you the exit, right? So there are several options, right? It's not like you will have to go into the market to search any buyer for your shares, right? And as far as the startup investment is concerned, so this is a new industry or new kind of investment, right? For which we can expect that after 1 or 2 years there will be a market which will avail a selling of secondary shares, right? So right now, see, retail ticketing was not possible until and unless this model was introduced. Right now, coming to part why LLP. See, sir, if people had a see, we even give the equity options to the investors. If any investor wants to come on a cap table, we tell them that you have to invest so and so amount of money, and you can directly come on the cap table. But still you want to invest in startup to make a good gain and to make a good profit or to make a good ROI, right? Then if you want to invest in a retail, that is 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh rupees, at that moment, sir, we need a legit documentation for this process because that founder is not able to give you the cap table or that founder is not able to give you the equity. Why? Because if company's valuation is 100 cr, right, and you are investing one lakh, so if you calculate the equity that you will hold in that company, it is near about 0.0000 some 1%, right? So this is why we cannot we cannot process your documentation with very legit form. So this is why the model of LLP has been introduced, right? See, sir, every documentation should be a very legit one, right? This is why I told you 10 minutes ago that we do not provide you MOU certificates. If you go on any other platform or any other investment channels, they will provide you MOU signed agreements. We don't provide you MOU signed agreements. We provide you the agreement which is passed having an eye on MCA or MC. It is registered in MCA, it is registered in ROC, it has been passed through a board's resolution, and then it comes to you, sir. So it's a most legit document that we can provide you on your retail investment. If it was a bigger investment, then directly we would have issued you the equity. It's a process of 15 to 20 days, not more than that. Okay, so these are the things. And coming to the part, see, so right now, till now, since January, we have onboarded 10 startups on our platform, and we have raised 20 CR of fundings to them through retail investing itself. Right. So this is what we do, Ashok sir, and let us connect over a call or over a text. Once this session has been completed, I will be free to answer all your queries. So let us
Okay.
Muskan continue with the session. We need to
Okay.
answer a lot of queries that is rolling out in the chat box.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure,
Yeah.
Abhinav.
Okay. Thank you, Ashok.
So yes, after this webinar, we will be circulating a separate email regarding the exit process, so you all can have a better clarity on that. So there is one question I can see of Rajesh sir. No, sir. Actually, Aadhaar cannot act as an address proof if you are not having the DIN number with you. So it is always suggested to submit a bank statement or the electricity bill or any other mobile bill if you are having on your name that you can share. So if you don't have power bill, do you have mobile bill with you? That also you can share. Startup are listed in the PO mentioned. As per Companies Act, maximum 200 members as per private placement. Yeah. So I can see one more question that as per Act, there is a limit of 200 maximum members as per private placement. I totally agree. So whenever a startup is raising fund, that is a startup company, they always ensure that the number are lesser than 200. But here we Bizdateup representing you all the investor. So in their cap table, only one Bizdateup LLP is reflected. So however, it is always lesser than 200 only. Any further questions? I think
Okay, there is one suggestion from Dhruv sir. Dhruv sir has asked for circulation of exit process. So definitely, Dhruv sir, we will be conducting such a meeting, right? We are conducting right now to educate our investors as much as we can. So there will be a session where we will be explaining the tax regime, right? We will be explaining the exit processes and the exemptions that can be made while taking the exit process, right? So we will conduct a different webinar for this, right? And Mr. Nitin sir has asked what is a normal exit period. So Nitin sir, it depends. It totally depends on the startup itself that how much lock-in period they can issue you. Right. Suppose if any startup is thinking that I need this funds for 2 years, right? Until and unless I use this fund and make a good ROI from this funds, I should not give any exit, right? Akash, can you mute this?
Abhinav, you can proceed now.
Yeah, okay. So, Nitin sir, the lock-in period totally depends on the startup. Okay. And the standard lock-in period is 18 months or 24 months for 6 years. although we at Bizdateup, although we at Bizdateup are very aligned that we should not keep any LLP after 18 months. So we negotiate a lot with the founders to keep that lock-in period for 18 months. Right now, we are also negotiating with the Zivo to remove that lock-in period for the investors. So it totally depends on the startup. Right. So can you circulate the mail regarding exit process? Definitely, Dhruv sir, as I addressed, I will do that. On your website, all the startups are listed or only few are mentioned. So basically, sir, all the startups are listed, but there are some startup which don't take retail amount, which take only equity. So we do it by keeping outside of Bizdateup. That is, we do not feature it on our website. Right. So as per the Companies Act 2030, as per the company 200 maximum, yeah, I think Muskan has answered to this.
Yes, I have
Is there
already
a
answered this.
provision to add nominee on Bizdateup? So right now, sir, we don't have any nominee to add on Bizdateup, but definitely we will think forward that how we can bring it to the compliance that adding or how we can add nominee by bringing some compliances. I think
Yes, Abhinav.
Muskan
So
will.
let me give a more clarity on this nominee
Yeah.
point. So yes, we are in discussion to take into consideration this nominee point. That whenever at the time of adding investor is a partner of Bizdateup, there we are planning to add one more clause. If they want to transfer their funds to their nominee or any other person, they can do this easily without making it a cumbersome process. So yeah, we are taking into point into consideration. So I can see one more question of Rajesh sir, that if you have already provided the KYC document for more than 3 investment, so yes, you don't have to provide the KYC documents again. We already have your document. But if there is any change in your contact details, like if there is change in your email ID or like address or anything, then it will be really helpful if you can communicate that to us. But KYC documents is not needed.
Muskan, there was the first question. Do we, by Mr. Honish Zaveri, he asked,
Hmm.
do we need to show investment certificate in IT returns?
Abhinav, I think you will be in a better position to answer this.
Sorry, I didn't hear to the question. Can you please repeat once, Akash?
It was from Mr. Zaveri, Honish Zaveri. He was asking, do we need to show investment certificate in IT returns?
So, actually, sir, this is quite unanswered because we also researched a lot about this, that whether we can show the share certificates for IT returns. See, sir, it's a short investment gain, right? So we need to research this, and obviously the next session when we are keeping about all about everything about tax regime, at that session we will be able to answer you this question, sir. Manish, sir. Anything else, Akash, we can take on?
Uh, there isn't any other question in the chat box. Guys, if you have any other questions, please feel free to raise your hands and we can unmute you and you can ask your questions. This is the forum for you to, ask questions related to, your investment process. How exactly, what happens exactly once you have transferred your fund to BizData from that point till the time you get the agreement or share certificate about your investment. You know, so this is the right platform and the right forum to ask all the questions. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can even put it in the chat box. So yes, Mr. Nitin Dusekar sir is asking, any new funding startup in pipeline in near future? Yes, we do have very good startup coming up. This month itself. Very soon, we will announce it on the platform. It is already there in the pipeline. Everything has been completed. I think this is a much awaited startup for which we have been waiting for quite long, with very strong fundamentals and very strong core and founders. Okay. Uh, Abhinav would be the right person to discuss this in detail with you.
Yeah. So actually, we are planning, and the startup we will be onboarding is in due diligence process. It means that it is in a final stage of due diligence, and it would be a good and a very great opportunity for investing in this startup. And probably I can no we can onboard this and pitch this to you by next weekend, that is on Saturday and Sunday, right? So we will pass on the information about upcoming startup, and it is a good startup that we, as Akash said, that we were waiting for this startup since very long, right? And let us hope for the best. By coming Saturday and Sunday, we will onboard this. All right. So any other questions? I would be and my team would be happy to answer those questions. Right. Even after this session, if you all come across any kind of queries or any kind of doubts, we are free to answer you. Right. And we will keep scheduling such a session in coming days. And the second session, as Muskan said, that we will be conducting on tax regime and the exit process, right? So that you will be having a total knowledge about investing in startup from end to end. All right. So we will wait for next 2 more minutes, right? If anyone is having any doubts, they can float the doubt and queries on the chat box itself.
Yeah, Abhinav, yeah. So I have
Yeah.
like just now came to know that Bizdet itself also is a startup. So
Yeah.
like if it means can we know like where Bizdet is investing in any startups? How much is how much they have been investing and what is the waiting period when they're going to be exited? This information will be passed on to the retail investors or how?
See, sir, we we as Bizdateup, we don't uh, invest because we are not a VC. We are a startup. We are a platform that allows retail investors to invest. We are the people who just make sure that you receive a legit documentation, right? And to help you in the exit moment. That's it, right? Now coming to the point, sir, definitely when we are creating a LLP, right? Whatever is happening in the startup, you will be notified, right, regarding upcoming investment that any startup is doing, right? And upcoming things that are happening in the startup. We are setting up a vertical, okay, where where you can receive daily or quarter reports of any startup in which you are invested, right? 3 to 4 startups for which we have made the reports and we have received the reports from startups. We will be circulating this reports in next to next week, right? So we will be passing on the information that is going, whatever is going in the startup. Also along with that, we are making a column or we are making a page on our website where you will be able to see the news feed in that column, okay, about every startup that we have onboarded on our platform. This is what we can do, sir. Natarajan, sir.
Okay.
So yes,
Anything
as
else, sir?
Abhinav said, quarterly report will be circulated to you with the all the performance and how the startup is working and how the startup is doing, what's the growth rate. All the information will be circulated to you every quarter.
Right. So I can see updates on my portfolio in bizdateup.com. Mr. Kumar, that you can see any update in your portfolio itself, updates regarding how the. Yeah, definitely. As I said, we are planning. Okay, we are in process to launch newsfeed on our website and on your portfolio as well about the investment that you have done in any startup, what that startup is doing, and how that startup is doing. Their MRR, their ARR, the last month revenue, the last month tie-up. Everything is in process. Sir. We are making it. I think we need to show your gains or losses in tax filing post exit only. Correct me. Okay, Rajesh sir, as I said, let us have a total right discussion on this when we are right with our information from our end, right? Because answering it to in a very rough answer would not be a good thing. So let us wait for the next session where we will be definitely answer all the tax related concerns in that meeting itself. And it was quite insightful session today. Thank you, Rakesh ji. Thank you so much. Can you please provide your contact? No. Okay,
So I
Navin sir, definitely, Navin sir. I will circulate my number. I think you already have you are already in connect with Minal, and Minal is from my team itself, right? So we can get in connect whenever you want. You just text once, Minal, that if you have any queries, I will reach out to your call, sir. Any regulatory framework that this data is calling for using the funds, definitely, sir. we are following the regulatory. I think Muskan would be the better person to answer this. Muskan.
Yes, yes. So let me just give you a clear idea that yes, Bizdateup is totally in compliant with all the acts, all the rules from compliance point of view as well as from the legal point of view. We have our legal team as well, where all the documents and everything is being under the umbrella of law. So yes, we are following the going as per the rules and regulation of the acts. Any
All
further
right.
questions?
Okay. So thank you, Nathan sir. Okay, all right. So, guys, I think we should wrap this meeting, and we are, always just one call or one text away. If you have any queries or any doubts, I think there is one message where I can see those documents. Mr. Kumar, let us do one thing. Let us connect over a call, and let us discuss over a call that where and how you can see the documents depending on the startup in which you have invested. So let us talk this or discuss this over a call, and I think.
Yes, Abhinav, you can also add me in that call if needed. And if Sir Kumar
Yeah,
sir, if you
definitely.
need those documents, I can help you in providing those documents. You can just drop us an email so that we can share
Yeah,
the all the relevant documents with you.
yeah, definitely. So that's it. It was, very. We are very. We appreciate your presence in this meeting, and I
Just
hope.
one second, Abhinav. Abhinav.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
This is a request to all the investors. Okay. Uh, Hi guys, my name is Akash. Okay, and I lead the growth side of Bizdateup. Okay, so this is a request to all the investors. Okay, and I believe that this is already known to everyone, but still I would like to highlight this, that whenever you're investing, and when you go on the website, okay, and you log in, okay, so when you log in, I would always say that log in from your registered email address from which you have completed your KYC. Okay, in order for you to see your investment in your portfolio. Okay, it is very important that you log in using the same email address which you have used to register on the website, and you have completed your KYC on the website. Okay, because we have come up with instances where for individuals there has been multiple accounts. Okay, because there has been multiple email addresses, so this creates a lot of confusion, but that your investment is not reflecting under your portfolio. However, it is a case of having multiple accounts. Okay, that is one thing. So always we would recommend that use the same email address which you when you're logging in onto the website. Okay, so that you can see all the updates about your investments. And second thing, if in case if you're investing in relation to your family, okay, or if in your partner's name, okay, we would always recommend that you do the fund transfer from their account itself, and you also create their account onto the website and update their KYC details, so that the investment would be updated under their name on the portfolio. Okay, because we cannot take investments from a different person's name and show it under a different portfolio altogether. Okay, we our team has already circulated an email regarding this to all the investors. You guys can find the details into that email. Okay, and in case if you guys have any further doubts, you can always reach out to Abhinav and team, and they would be more than happy to assist you on this part. That's all from me. Thank you so much, Abhinav.
So yeah, thank you everyone for giving your valuable time on Sunday and so actively participating in this webinar. And for further queries, you can freely reach out to us. We will be like more than happy to answer all your queries. Abhinav, you want to add anything on this?
no, that's it. That's it from my
That's it.
end. Thank you, guys, for joining with us, and we will keep you posting with the upcoming updates and upcoming informations to you. So,
Yes. So
all
yes,
right.
thank you
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you.